Hello, first graders. Welcome to your first assignment in math. We are going to be taking a look at pictographs. In this activity, we have two main goals. Your first goal is to interpret a pictograph. There is a couple big words in that. Let's start with the word interpret. Can you say that with me? 1, 2, 3. Interpret. When we interpret something, it means we understand it. We want to be able to understand a pictograph. Pictograph is our second big word. Can you say that with me? 1, 2, 3. Pictograph. A pictograph is a graph that shows pictures. A graph is something we show mathematical information on. So our first goal is we want to interpret a pictograph, which means we want to understand the information shown to us in a graph that has pictures on it. Goal 2 is we want to match mathematical relationships presented in words with these shown in a pictograph. There are a lot of long words in this goal also. Mathematical is a fancy way to say math. Can you say that with me? 1, 2, 3. Mathematical. We are going to figure out mathematical relationships, which means we want to see how objects or numbers are related or how they go together. We will use the information in our pictograph to do that. Each slide is going to look something like this. You can see that it is split into two parts. The left side of our slide will show the pictograph. Here is a pictograph that does not have any pictures yet. There are a few parts of the pictograph we need to look at. First, let's look at what two things we are finding mathematical relationships with. Here we can see the pictograph will look at the numbers of turtles' resting spots. There are 3 different resting spots: a log, a rock, and mud. This means there will be some turtles on a log, some on a rock, and some resting in the mud. This is how a pictograph looks when it is filled in with our data or information. Look carefully where it has a picture of a turtle and then it says equal to 1 turtle. That means that each turtle picture represents 1 turtle. See how many pictures of turtles there are on the log. See how many picture turtles there are on the rock. How about the mud? When the turtles are stacked, that means we count up to know how many there are in each resting spot. On the right side, we will answer questions about our pictograph. This is where we will work on goals. Goal 2, which has matching mathematical relationships that are presented in words with those shown on the pictograph. Here we are looking for how many turtles are on the rock. To answer that question, we will need to look back at our pictograph. So we're going to need to find the resting spot of the rock. There it is. Now I need to count how many turtles are stacked on top. Once I know, I will fill in my answer. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we will write 5. 5 turtles. Time to move on to another mathematical relationship. There are 2 fewer turtles in the mud than on the. Fewer means less, so there are 2 less turtles in the mud than on another resting spot. That means I need to compare my turtle stacks. Do you see how many turtles are resting in the mud? Which resting spot has more than mud? Is it 2 or more? If so, that means there are 2 fewer turtles in the mud than in the resting spot you saw. When you know the answer, fill it in. So we would put this. Where are the most turtles resting? Again, you will look at your pictograph to help you determine which resting spot has the largest amount of turtles. You can see that log, resting on the log. There's one more mathematical relationship for this pictograph. How can you tell where most of the turtles are resting? Use the mic feature to record your answer. Now that you know where most of the turtles are resting from number 3 and number 4, from number 3, number 4 wants you to share how you knew that. When you are done, you will move on to the next pictograph. So 4 is going to say, how can you tell where most of the turtles are resting? Use the mic to record your answer. There are different types of pictographs with different types of pizza, different types of sharks, different types of balls, different types of muffins, and different types of cars. At the end, I want you to mark how you did with this activity. Did you need a lot of help? If you did, you would circle this box. If you needed some help, you would circle the middle box. And if you were able to complete this activity all by yourself, you would circle this box. Now remember, my job is to challenge you and to make you really think, so it's okay if you need some help. When you are done, you will hit the green check mark and I will check your work. Have fun with your pictograph activity.